What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Jake Slammer podcast. It is week 4 in the NFL season, going by quick. Today, we got a good episode for you guys, breaking down our picks. Then, we're going to get into some topics. The Dolphins' the best offense of all time. Is Jordan Love the real deal? And what about Travis Kelce and T Swift? What's up with that? But
God,
we're going to get into all that and more
s-
after we get into
17,
our picks.
17-point blowout or 17-point
17
blown
point,
lead, and
point
Hammer over
comeback.
here is saying he's the real deal.
Is he?
Depression. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast, bringing you the latest NFL news and insights from the perspectives of two die-hard fans. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some football talk with Jenks and the Hammer.
And here we go.
All right, guys, week 4 is officially here. Season's going by pretty damn fast. I'd say so myself. Hammer and I were looking forward to Saints-Packers for, a few months, and then it already happened in a flash. Then that's behind us now. Now we got the rest of the season to look forward to. But
It's not behind me.
Hammer and I,
Not yet.
yeah, I've forced it in my rearview vision. I can't think about it anymore, or else I'll go into a depression coma. Anyways, 31-17. That's Hammer and I's records and picks. We're tied up. Hammer came back by, I think it was a pick, maybe 2 over the last week.
I think 2 picks.
Yeah, 2 picks. He got me. A few of my picks kind of choked. To the Rams, man, I had hope. I had faith in them, and they let me down. But 31-17. And now we got Thursday Night Football. Tonight, we got the Lions versus the Packers. This is a great game, in my opinion. I think it's a good Thursday Night Football game. Maybe the first we've had of the season that's going to be good. Who knows? I mean, over the last 2 seasons, we've had games just trash Thursday Night Football games. They have not been good the last couple seasons. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think the Lions are playing good football right now. You got Aiden Hutchinson, who had like 2-3 sacks against the Falcons. Thank God he beat them. And then the Packers as well, who just beat the Saints. Hammer, yeah, cheer, do whatever, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go with the Lions here. I didn't like what I saw for the Packers for 3 quarters, but I'll be honest here. They looked good in the 4th quarter, and that's what mattered in the game. So, Hammer, I don't know the injury report. You got go over your injury report and
Yeah, Green Bay played a sloppy game for 3 quarters last week. Coming off a bad 4th quarter in Atlanta in week 2. I think after a win like that, you're coming off that momentum. They're gonna get a lot of guys back. Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, probably the 2 biggest playmakers on offense are going to be coming back for them, and there's a very good chance that Jair Alexander returns too. So, I mean, I think it's pretty big. Those guys were playing last week. I think that game's a little differently too, but yeah, they're going to be coming back. I think momentum's pretty high in Green Bay. Of course, I'm going to pick my Packers, and this is going to be my game of the week. I think you got 2-1 teams playing good football. Detroit came in with pretty high expectations of the season. Green Bay, I think, are shocking a lot of people these first 3 weeks of how good Jordan Love looks, and them being 2-1, and the one game that they lost was by 1 point with a big lead in the 4th quarter. Same for the Saints, but I think the Packers have surprised a lot of people. They're finally healthy now at home, and looking at the division, Chicago and Minnesota both 0-3. You got these 2 teams 2-1. This is a pretty big game for the season, and a game that's gonna, come playoff time, be a decider. So I got the Packers in this one. They're healthy. I know Detroit's gonna have a couple of guys out. C.J. Gardner-Johnson and James Houston. I think David Montgomery's questionable, so we'll see what happens there. But I'm gonna take Green Bay.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's not being talked about enough really is this is a big revenge game for the Packers. They went into, I think it was week 18 last season, and they lost in Sunday Night Football. It was the game to decide playoffs. So Packers have a chip on their shoulder here, and they're going to try to bounce back. And I think they throw it all at the Lions. I think they try to beat them in any way possible and possibly blow them out.
Green Bay's lost to Detroit the past 3 times. So
that's
they're coming back too. You know what I mean? So I think Matt LaFleur's talked about that a lot in the locker room this week, and I think they're gonna come Thursday night tonight with some energy.
Hopefully Lions win. Hopefully Amon-Ra St.
Take it easy there.
St. Brown balls out for me.
Might be picking Buccaneers now. I might be picking Buccaneers now. Watch out.
Yeah, man, I'm just saying I need Amon-Ra for my dynasty league. I'm like 1-2. It's rough sledding. Anyways, getting into the second game of the week, we got the Falcons, or Falcons, I should say, versus the Jaguars, who have looked nothing like they should be. Everyone is expecting, Hammer over here. I'm at the second second seed in the AFC, I think, in the playoff predictions before the season started. Trevor Lawrence is not playing to expectations. He's been pretty much letting I think, the team down and everything else. They looked good against the Colts week 1. That Calvin Ridley balled out, had a good game, has gone pretty quiet since. So I think this is a little bit of a bounce back game. I like Trevor Lawrence here. I like it at home. I think Trevor Lawrence bounces back, puts a little bit towards his normal self out here in this game. And I think they beat the Falcons, hopefully. I'm never going to say anything positive about them. They got Bijan. That's about it. I could say he's a great running back, top 3 in the league probably right now. If arguably not no one's tackling him well. No one can tackle him. He's juking out everyone. He's looked pretty damn great. So that's the only thing going for them though. Desmond Ridder looks terrible. I mean, the receivers are all right, but Desmond Ridder can't hit them. And Kyle Pitts is over there being a great tight end for no reason. They have no reason for him to be on the team because they don't throw it to him. So I got Jacksonville here winning this game, and I'm hoping it's a blowout.
Yeah, I got Jacksonville here too. And by home game, I think you mean London. They're playing in London, but the Jaguars
Yeah,
seem to be
home
playing
game.
it. Seem to be playing in London almost every year, so it kind of is like their home. Yeah, I got Jacksonville in a bounce back win this week. I picked them pretty high preseason. I still have a lot of belief in them. They got the
I'm
talent.
praying.
I like what Atlanta's doing. I think Atlanta's a good team. I think this is a really good game to have Sunday morning at 9:30. It's exciting. But yeah,
Love
I got
waking up.
I think Jacksonville bounces back.
Yeah, I love waking up, eating some cereal, watching an NFL game in the morning. It's a pretty great experience. I think it's on Disney Plus as like an
And
animated
Toy
Toy
Story.
Story,
Yeah, I
which
don't know.
I'm probably gonna be watching it that way because this is a garbage game anyways. I don't really care, but I want to see if that
What do you mean
looks any
garbage
good.
game?
So.
It's gonna be a good game.
No, but it's a game I don't care about. It has no effect. I mean, I hope the
Well, it
Falcons
kind of
lose, but
does
I
have
just
an
don't
effect
really
on
care.
you.
Anyways, Toy
But
Story. That's all I want to see. These little animated dudes running around tackling each other. I think it'll be funny. And it's 9:30 in the morning. I'm eating my
it's gonna be
breakfast. We're
bad. It's
watching.
gonna be like Nickelodeon with this goo.
No,
Like,
I think it might be a little bit better. As long as a slime can isn't shooting on someone
slime, like goo,
as they
slime.
score a touchdown, I'm happy. Yeah, so this is the real game of the week. Hammer has his team as the game of the week. This is the game of the week right here. This should be
this is awesome.
I have no clue what the schedule makers are thinking putting this. I mean, I guess the Sunday night football makes sense here. Maybe Monday night football, but the 4 o'clock games sure as hell don't make sense over this. This is a game that should have been 4 o'clock at least. Bills Dolphins, who Dolphins just went out and scored 70 points, and they're still 3.5-point underdogs going into the Buffalo Bills territory. Bills fans have a lot going for them right now. They're doing really well. They just crushed the Commanders. They crushed the Commanders' hopes and dreams. They had 4 picks off Sam Howell. Their D line looked great, and the Commanders' O line is pretty damn terrible. So I think I'm going to take a crazy pick here. I'm going to go the Bills, but hear me out.
You are taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills, but it's because it's a home game for the Bills. I think they split their series. I think I said that before the season. It might have been the Jets, but I think the Bills split the series here with the Dolphins, but I think they win their home game just because it's going to be a little bit if it was in Miami where it's 100 degrees on the sideline for the Bills, then I don't think they're winning that game. But it's at home. I think the Bills win this with a home crowd.
I picked Buffalo too. I hope I was gonna get you with this one. We were gonna switch. I picked
I don't
Buffalo
like Tua,
too.
man.
Yeah, I know, and you like Buffalo. It's a good second team or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go Buffalo too, and like I kind of like it. Like I just kind of see it. Like after, I don't know. I don't know what makes me pick Buffalo, but something makes me pick Buffalo. I just think Buffalo's been playing good football quietly. It hasn't been so splashy and exciting like the Dolphins have, but like they've been playing good football, offense, defensively. They're at home. I don't know. I mean, I think, division opponent, it excites them to, bring in a team like the Dolphins who had last week scoring 70 points to bring him in and kind of show him who's boss, who runs his division, who's been running it the past couple of years. You know what I mean? So I like Buffalo in this one, but yeah, I could definitely see them splitting through the year. If this game's in Miami, maybe that's a little different, not because of the home crowd, but the heat and all that. But I don't know. This is going to be good. Jalen Waddle's going to be back too. I could go either way.
It's crazy to me they scored 70 without Waddle, but we'll get into that whole topic later. But I just think the Bills come back and just prove who's boss, like you said.
I'm going to go Buffalo too.
Yeah, and then garbage game of the week. Or actually, no, we'll get to that in just a second. We got Vikings versus the Panthers. There's 2 0-3 teams or 4 0-3 teams all battling against each other this week. One of them games is the Vikings versus the Panthers. Kirk Cousins, kind of I couldn't explain the thought process at the end of the game last week. They went in, they get to the goal line. Instead of spiking the ball, they let a lot of clock run out. First of all, I think it was like 10 seconds off the clock. Then they snapped the ball at the 8-yard line going into the end zone. And he throws like a dumb pass. It gets tipped up. A defender picks it off. Game over. The Vikings should have spiked the ball there, and they would have had a shot. I just think it's weird. Their whole mentality has been a little bit weird. They had a lot of one-score games last year that they pulled out. This year, it's not going their way. They're 0-3, and I think they're close to rebuilding. Like John said last week, Kirk Cousins might be on his way out soon. If they lose this game, 100%, I think Kirk Cousins might get dealt somewhere. 0-4 hole, that's tough to come out of. So I'm going to go the Vikings here. I think Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, they're going to fight for this win. You got to beat the Panthers, man. The Panthers look so bad right now. Bryce Young's still trying to come into his own. And if he's healthy, he should be healthy. He started practicing again today. But if Andy Dalton's in, you sure as hell should win. Andy Dalton's terrible. Saints fans got to witness that. So I'm picking the Vikings here.
Yeah. Only if someone said that Minnesota was going to be terrible before the season.
Yeah. I know.
Been calling it
Hammer
since
called it
forever.
Yeah.
Go Carolina, but yeah, I got to go Minnesota too. More talented team. They're putting up points. I mean, if you got a Viking player, in a fantasy football, Cousins, Jefferson, Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, you're a pretty happy person, and you're probably winning a lot of your games. I think this Vikings offense, more so passing game, is just going to be too much for Carolina. Bryce Young's coming back after being out last week, So I think it's going to take him a little bit to ease into the game, but I got Minnesota here, sadly.
Yeah, I got to agree. And then we get into the second trash game of the week. This is a game that just
Garbage.
right away you're like, who? It's just awful. It's Broncos versus Bears. Broncos just got 70 put up on them. The Bears got 34 put up against them in the first half. And the Chiefs kind of, their Chiefs was like, yeah, we'll wheel it back a little bit. They're not gonna just absolutely demolish them. They had no need to have. I think they took Patrick Mahomes out before the end of the game. Kelsey had it before the end of the game. They weren't going to get guys hurt. The Dolphins did the same thing, but they ended up still scoring. But the Broncos defense needs to get it together. Sean Payton has the offense doing a little bit better. You look at Russell Wilson's stats. He's increased and improved exponentially since last season. He looks a lot better. And you got a team like Justin Fields and the Bears. They look so lost. They had all these free agent improvements. I said they were going to be decent this year. And the coaching staff is just
it's another one
absolutely
for Hammer.
failed them. Yeah, you're 2-1. We get it. Anyways,
2-1. What are you talking?
Yeah,
no,
Jaguars.
I called out who were going to be bad. And who said?
I know,
who
but
said
I'm saying
Tampa was going to be? Who said Tampa was going to be low key? All right. Oh, me.
They're not low key
2-1.
all right though. They're
I
not low
did.
key all right.
I
They
picked
played
them to go
garbage
second
teams.
in the division.
Anyways, they're not. They're going to finish third. They're going to finish third. Anyways,
Okay, but who picked them?
Bears.
Who picked them kind of high? Me. 2-1.
Bears.
Just saying. I know what I'm talking
I
about.
can't stand this guy, man. They're okay. 2-2. You're going to be 2-2 in your.
Who said CJ Stroud was going to be better than Bryce Young? This guy.
I think we both did actually. I say we both did. We both said CJ Stroud was.
Continue.
I said CJ Stroud was more NFL ready. Anyways, Bears, Justin Fields, terrible all around. The offense is terrible. The defense is terrible. You can't hit receivers with a quarterback that has no clue what the hell he's doing. He's just sitting there in the pocket. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, and he has no clue where to go with the ball. He scrambles a little bit like he did last year, and that's all he can do. People called Lamar Jackson a running back for however many years. Justin Fields is the definition of a running back at quarterback. He has no clue what to do with the ball in his hands, and I think the Broncos come out. Sean Payton's, there's no shot in hell he's going 0-4. I think the Broncos come out, beat the Bears.
There's no shot in hell. Sean Payton's lit up 70 points, but he did.
That's not. It's the defense.
This is garbage. No, that's him. He's the head coach, dude.
Yeah, but the defensive coordinator, he should have fired the defensive coordinator. That's what I should say right now.
No.
The defensive coordinator has no right to be there this week. No right.
If your team's lit up 70 points, something's wrong up top. But yeah, I don't know. This could go either way because I'm like, what does Sean Payton say to that team in the locker room after the game? How do they respond? Like, do they quit after that game, like the rest of the season? Like, I don't know. They got 70 points put on them. First time since 1966. I don't know. On the other hand, you got the Bears. Like, they blow. They're terrible. Terrible.
in every asset.
So I really don't know where to go. Even though the Broncos just let up 70 points, I think the Bears are just so bad that
Yeah.
I think the Broncos are gonna win this one. I don't know. Ah, it's tough. I guess they have a more talented team. I guess. I don't know. Like
Here's the thing: the Broncos at least
I
put
don't
up
know.
20 against the Dolphins. I think if you put the Bears against the Dolphins, it's 70-0. It's pretty damn likely that it could have been 70-0
I
against
don't
the
know.
Dolphins. So
I don't like Sean Payton. I don't really care for the Broncos. But I care for them more than the Bears, so I'm gonna go with the Broncos too. So
yeah, I
I
think
don't
the
know.
Broncos win that
I don't know.
trash bowl right there.
6-3, something like that. 3-2.
Yeah, awful. And then
I don't know.
we got another good game, another good 1 o'clock game. The 1 o'clock slate is better than the 4 o'clock slate again this week. Like
Ravens
it's just
Browns.
the same as last week. Ravens Browns here. I think in the dog pound, I got to go with my dogs. I got to go with the Browns, man. I went with them week 1 at the dog pound against the Bengals, and now they're back against the Ravens. Ravens just lost to the Colts, which is a little bit of a surprise game. Obviously there was a little bit of ref kind of interference. Could have been an asterisk next to that because Zay Flowers was held on the final. I think it was 4th down, and they threw it to Zay Flowers. He was held. He got turned before the ball even got there. Should have been called a penalty, PI, holding, one or the other, first down. But in the end, the Colts came out and won that game. So I'm a little bit surprised by that. Lamar's playing all right. Mark Andrews is staying healthy, surprisingly. And then they got the weapons over there as well. But
They got no
I
running
got to go with,
backs. That's the thing.
yeah, they still
All
have
the
run. I
running backs
mean,
are injured.
Lamar, but that's about it. Yeah. And so no run game. So they're relying on Lamar's arm a lot. And it's a test every week on if he can do that. But here's the thing. Browns are the best defense in the league right now. Statistically, they have #1 in, I think, every single category. So I got to go with the Browns here. I think their defense is just going to overpower the Ravens without a running back. And I think Lamar throws 1 or 2 picks in this game. And I think the Browns win another like 20-point, 20-10 game, something like that. That's what they've been doing this year. And I think
Yeah.
that happens again.
Yeah, I think the Browns are gonna win too. Defense is playing really good. Deshaun Watson's not doing terrible. I think he's getting a little better each
He's
week. Not by a
some weird
lot, but by a
plays.
little bit. Yeah, but I mean, not terrible. In the dog pounds. Yeah, I'm gonna go Cleveland here too. I think they're gonna be that like sneaky, sleepy, like 3-1 team. You're like, oh, they're 3-1. That's pretty interesting. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
defense
go.
is carrying
I'm gonna
them to
go.
it.
I'm gonna go Cleveland too.
Yeah, and when I said Deshaun Watson had a few crazy plays, it looks like he's lost a little bit something in his head over the last couple weeks. Like last week, he had like 3 face masks where he just snagged the inside of the defender's face mask, thrown to the ground. And this week, he threw a ball 20 yards backwards when he was getting tackled, and it was almost a fumbled, disastrous play, but they ended up getting it. But Browns, their defense is able to maintain it, so I got to go Browns. Next game, we got Steelers-Texans, which is another defensive team. Their offense hasn't quite clicked yet. Matt Canada might be on his way out. Steelers fans have been calling that for God knows how many years. It's similar to Saints with Pete Carmichael, but Matt Canada, you can't get it going with a guy like Kenny Pickett, George Pickens, Allen Robinson, Deontay Johnson. I mean, he has decent weapons. Like, that's not bad. Then you look at the running back room. You got Najee Harris, who hasn't looked like what he should have been doing. Like, he has the size. He has all the traits. And he just looks a little bit scared when he's running the football. It's weird. But then you have a guy like Jalen Warren coming out, and he's balling as a rookie. I think he might take Najee's spot by the end of the year. But then you look at the other side, and you got the Texans, man. Texans are coming out, and they're firing. Yeah, I said D'Amico Ryans might have that team doing a little bit better this year. And I said they're going to go like 7 wins, something like that. I believe that's what I said in the prior episodes. But they look like they got something going over there. They're clicking a little bit. CJ Stroud and Tank Dell have a good connection forming. And despite all of that, you got to look at the Steelers defense, and you just got to say, I think TJ Watt's is going to just demolish CJ Stroud a few times this game. And Minkah Fitzpatrick is still there. They have a solid defense. I got to go to Steelers, man. I think the Steelers come out, and I think their defense just overpowers the Texans. They're a young team, and it happens that defense gets to them a little bit, and then they get a little bit rattled, and the game kind of falls off the tracks. But I think the Texans are doing decent, a lot better than people expected. So good for them, but I got the Steelers here.
Yeah, I got the Steelers too. I don't know about solid defense. I would definitely say top tier, top 5, top 3 defense.
Yeah.
This Pittsburgh defense has single-handedly, won them games like in Cleveland week 2. against Cleveland week 2. Yeah, I like the Steelers here. Young QB going against all that talent, all that, you know, big boys. There's just monsters on the defensive side for Pittsburgh. I don't think it's good. I think this is a close game, though. I think it's a close game. Because the Pittsburgh offense has been shitty. But I got the Steelers in a close one.
Yeah, and I mean, it's gonna be a decent game because the Steelers' offense every once in a while just looks like they have no heads. Like they look like they're a chicken running with their head cut off, like every once in a while. So who knows? Texans might make it a close one, like you said. Going to the next game, I got a team that I've picked for underdog of the week. I think 2 straight weeks, and they've let me down, man. It's Rams Colts, and the Colts, they're looking like a feisty team, a little fire lit under their ass, by Gannon, their head coach, rookie head coach, and they look all right, man. Or it might be Steichen. Gannon's the Arizona, I think. Steichen's the Colts head coach, and he's looking all right. They got him going over there. They just won. They beat the Ravens without their starting quarterback. They beat him with Gardner Minshew, who every year has a Minshew mania moment. He comes out, wins a game against a team that shouldn't be beating. And you got to think to yourself, it's got to be coaching. They have a solid core of receivers. They got Josh Downs. They got Michael Pittman, and then someone else I'm blanking on. But I like their team. And they're doing this without Jonathan Taylor, who still wants to be traded, everything like that. But out of spite here over the Rams, who have screwed me over 2 straight weeks, I'm going to do underdog pick of the week. I had the Colts beating the Rams at home.
Bam. Yeah, I get the Rams going. I got the Rams winning. I don't know. They've been up there for, I guess, the surprise team of the year, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they've been playing some really good football against some good teams. Got some undrafted rookies that are balling out, playing pretty good. Sean McVay's putting them in good spots to make plays. Stafford's playing all right. Richardson's coming back from concussion, I believe. And, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully he can start sliding and, not head first. Protect
taking
himself
hits
a little
like
bit.
RG3, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I got the Rams here.
Yeah, and you think
think,
about it, like
Yeah,
the
I
Rams.
like what the Rams are doing. Sean McVay. I like the Rams.
He's
I
a
like
good
the
head
Rams.
coach. Good head coach. And
Oh,
the
he
thing
is
is,
one
they're
of the
still
best in the
without
league.
Cooper Kupp. If they have Cooper Kupp here, maybe they go a little bit different. But teams are figuring out a little bit how to cover Puka Nacua. And then Tutu Atwell went off a little bit last week compared to how he had been doing because they covered Puka pretty well. Kenrick Williams is doing all right at the running back position. They traded away Cam Akers, but I
he's
think
not a bad player. They got
they got
some
good
guys over
players,
there.
and Matt Stafford's playing all right. But I think I go with Colts. Stick with my gut here. Then we got my game for my team, the Saints. This is a huge game for us in division against the Bucs.
Ooh.
Against the Bucs, who everyone's hyping up, Hammer's hyping up. I got people in the group chat saying the Bucs are gonna win the division, and I just gotta say, like, you guys are all crazy, man. The Bucs have Baker Mayfield, and when he gets rattled on defense, you saw it last week against the Eagles. He loses his head a little bit. He doesn't hit the throws as well. He had the one good throw to Mike Evans, who had the incredible catch, but Mike Evans gets put in prison when he plays against Marshawn Lattimore. He gets those little hissy fit. They get into a fight. It's going to happen this game. They're going into a little fight. Who knows? Maybe one of them gets ejected. Maybe both of them get ejected. It's going to happen. It happens every year. Saints fans aren't surprised by it. Bucs fans aren't surprised by it. But then you got to remember, it's still Baker Mayfield at the quarterback position. And if Mike Evans is out there, sure as hell, he has Chris Godwin. He's playing all right, but that's my point. As soon as he gets pressured, and he's sure as hell going to get pressured this week, he loses his head a little bit. So I got the Saints, Cam Jordan, Carl Granderson, Colin Saunders, Nathaniel Shepard, and Brian Bresee. They're going to get to him. They're going to get to him this week. Packers had one of the best O-line in the league. They do. And
not last week. We had
had
a
couple injuries.
We had an all-pro and a Pro Bowl out.
Even without them, you guys are playing like one of the best O-lines in the league. You guys are.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah. Whatever. Let me make my point here about the Saints. God, Saints defense wasn't able to capitalize on blitzes and anything like that in the second half, and it was because of that O-line. But then you come against the Bucs, who just got absolutely destroyed by the Eagles D-line, and the Eagles have the best D-line in the league. Arguably, their D-line is absolutely nuts, or one of the best D-lines. I should say. You got like 49ers, Browns, maybe Saints right now are playing at high pressure rate right now as well.
But Jordan Love.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, moving on from the Packers talk, Hammer. We're talking Saints here. This is my segment. Anyways, Saints come out, beat the Bucs at home. Stadium's gonna be rocking for the home field advantage. So, or should I say dome field advantage? I got the Saints beating the Bucs here, and a little bit of a, I don't know. Jameis Winston might be starting, so it's a little bit tough. But
Yeah,
I
he
say
is.
like
Derek Carr's not
Jameis.
playing.
No, Derek Carr came into the press conference today. Said he's fully prepared to play. As even if he doesn't practice today or this whole week, he said he's prepared to play and he will play if he's able to without hurting the team. So they're keeping the door open. Who knows? Maybe Derek Carr is playing that game.
That's
but
what
even
they
if
need.
Jameis is playing,
your Derek Carr is better than average Derek Carr. Like,
Derek Carr had a good game against you guys last week. I don't know what you're talking about. He had like an 80 QB rating.
Wow.
So Jordan Love had a 50.
It's impressive.
Jordan Love had like a 50. So you take a look at that, and you're saying Jordan Love's, he's the greatest quarterback, and he had a 50 overall rating. And you say Derek Carr's mediocre. He got hurt midway through the game. So
Jordan Love was.
Anyways, I think
Jordan was playing with no one.
Derek Carr comes out. Yeah, and we had two of our starting defensive backs down. So you guys had a pretty easy
two nobodies. First off, the kid number one had the game of his life. So I wouldn't even say that.
Yeah, because he's a damn good player. But my point is injuries happen to everyone. We were down Derek Carr. Anyways.
Oh yeah, because he's really good.
We were up 17-0 with him. So take a look at that.
Yeah,
Anyways,
he scored 10 points.
You guys had 0, so he went down. So,
that's not how it ended.
Anyways,
Derek Carr's not out there playing defense.
Yeah, because like I just said, okay, we can't. We're gonna get into an argument anyways. Saints blow out the Bucs here with Jameis Winston throwing Jameis Winston at least one deep ball to Rashid Shaheed and a lot of throws to Michael Thomas. He loves Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara's back. Period. Saints are winning this game.
Oh, yeah, from a suspension. Juvenile.
Suspension.
All right. The Saints meltdown continues. I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers walking into the dome saying, "Up yours, Derek Carr. This is our place." Meltdown in New Orleans. Dennis Allen, what are you doing? Are you on the hot seat? I got Tampa as my underdog pick of the week. My underdog pick of the week was Cleveland over the Ravens, but I forgot to say it, and Grayson just fired me up. So now I'm picking Tampa. I'm picking Tampa to upset the Saints. My underdog pick.
Jordan Love.
Oh no.
You offended Jordan Love. Buccaneers.
Dude, Jordan Love beat your team. That's fine.
Oh my God.
He beat
Saints
you.
are winning this.
He beat you.
Anyways, moving into next week.
I got Tampa.
You literally would have picked the Saints if I didn't defend your man crush, Jordan Love. Anyway, if I didn't go against him. Anyways, moving on. We got Eagles Commanders. Who this is a good game as well, in my opinion, but at the same time, you look like the Commanders are kind of cheeks. Their O-line is terrible. Like they can't block anyone right now. They can't defend or they can't pass pro against a good O-line, and the Eagles arguably have one of the best O-line or D-lines in the league. And Jalen Carter balled out last week. He's going to get he might get a couple sacks, and you got Jordan Davis as well, and then you got the edge rushers I'm blanking on, but just because I'm not a really huge Eagles fan. But I think the Commanders come out and shit the bed again this week. I think Sam Howell started off hot, but against these good defenses, he's going to struggle a little bit. And that's a learning curve as well. This is a first-year starter. So I think the Eagles come out, beat the Commanders. It's at home. It's at Link. That's at the Link. So I think the Eagles fans will be going crazy. I think they beat the Commanders here.
Yep, I think the Eagles win too. I think it's kind of a close game, though. I think Washington's defense kind of slows down.
Is all right. Yeah.
Slows down Philly's offense because Philly's offense these first 3 weeks just haven't been hot. They haven't been in the groove since the OC leaving. You know what I mean? So I think it's gonna take a couple more weeks to put it all together. So I think this is a close game, but in the end, Philly's gonna win.
Yeah. So that's gonna. I mean, I don't know how to say it. Like Philly, it's gonna be a deciding. The Commanders right now are 2-1, right? So you look at it. Commanders are 2-1. Eagles are 3-0. If the Eagles beat them, obviously they have a bigger lead in their division. And then you got a team like the Giants 1-2. Then you got who else? The Cowboys are 2-1 as well. So if the Eagles win this game, it's big for playoffs. Even though it's week 4 already, it's not really that big of a deal. But then you got a team like the Cowboys. If they win as well, the Eagles are still 1 game up. So this is a big game for the Eagles in division. They're going to win. I think it's going to be a big game for them. And then we got the Bengals versus the Tennessee Titans, who, have had a rough start to the season. They're not running the ball with Derrick Henry. Their whole game plan every year is run the ball with Derrick Henry. He had like 12 yards last week. That's terrible. It's horrific. I mean, they were playing the Browns, who have a good run defense, but you got to do better than that with Derrick Henry in your backfield. They did it against the Saints, same thing. They stopped running with him. Their whole game plan should be just run the ball with Derrick Henry no matter what. He's going to get at least 100 yards if you do that. Then you got a team like the Bengals who come out with Joe Burrow, who's hurt right now, who's playing with a lot of pain. They don't look like themselves. They don't. The Rams almost came back. It was a good game last week. And then, I mean, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase need to get on the same page. T. Higgins need to be on the same page. If they're able to do that, this is going to be a blowout. But the way they're playing, they haven't really looked like it. It hasn't been the Bengals team we're used to seeing. So I don't know here. This is a tough pick. I'm going to go with the Bengals still. I think the Bengals are going to be able to click this game, and the Tennessee Titans aren't playing well enough to beat them. But it might be a little bit of a close game because the Bengals haven't been blowing anyone out. They've been in pretty much close games with everyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cincinnati too. I think slowly they're gonna start to find the rhythm. You know what I mean? The team, the talent level on that team is so high that they're gonna find their groove like they did kind of on Monday night. You know what I mean? It wasn't pretty, but they got the win. Jamar Chase got the ball finally. I have him in fantasy in one of my leagues. Finally, he started to do something. So there's a little life there, which is exciting to see. Yeah, I don't think Tennessee's that good. I think I don't think they're very good.
Yeah, like they play all
Simple.
right, but not great.
It's
who they
simple.
are.
Yeah, so I get Cincinnati, and it's probably another ugly game, but I get Cincinnati.
Yeah, and that's the last 1:00 game of the week. So like, honestly, that game kind of blends in the 4:00 games. It's as a mediocre game. So we're gonna cut the 1:00 games here, and then we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll get right into 4:00 games, the prime time. All right, guys, getting right into the prime time.
Saints
4:00 game. 4:00 games. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, getting right into the 4:00 games and prime time. You get the lights coming on, the big games coming out, but they're mediocre games. Like these 4:00 games, they suck. I'm gonna be honest, they're not great at all. I don't. Maybe the Cardinals 49ers game is all right, but first game 4:05, we got the Raiders Chargers, and right now both these teams are kind of playing iffy at best. You got 2 1-2 teams. The Chargers don't have a good head coach. He should be gone already. Staley is doing awful things. He should have. Stop thinking about the Packers beating the Saints, dude. It's plaguing your mind, plaguing the podcast. You gotta stop. Cut it out. Cut it out. Anyways, Chargers.
I just want to say, Jenks did not do his punishment. We were supposed to do a punishment.
Dude, I had enough punishment when I lost 17-0 and Derek Carr got hurt. It was the worst possible. It was the worst possible thing that could have happened last week. Derek Carr got hurt. Saints fans knew what was going to happen. We knew we were going to lose, and it was just a pit in your stomach that you couldn't avoid. And we sat there still watching the game like, oh, we have hope. We have hope. We're going to make a field goal. Then he missed the field goal. It was an awful, awful week in general. I had to deal with Hammer after. I couldn't text him saying, oh, that was a good throw by Jordan Love in the first half because you were down 17-0 and you were still not wanting to text him.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Talk to me after the game.
And then Saints and then the Packers win, and Hammer was Jordan Love, the best quarterback.
I said good game. I said good game and everything.
Oh my God.
And I said, look at Jordan Love play well. And you're like, no, Jordan Love played like crap. And I was like, how?
I said he played all right. You said he played great. I said he played all right. He played all right at best. Anyways, we need to cut this out. We got a second segment for this. Anyways, God damn it, dude. Chargers, Raiders. Chargers should have lost last week. They almost blew it against the Vikings because Staley's just losing his mind when he's coaching these games. He has no clue. There's nothing in between his brain. It's just dull. Or not dull. It's just hollow. There's nothing there. They have Justin Herbert. They have Keenan Allen, who just absolutely went off 200 yards, like 17 receptions, something like that. You have Mike Williams, unfortunately, tore his ACL. Then, Austin Eckler's out, but you still have all these weapons. Like, they should be winning these games by a lot. And Staley just it plagues his brain. He wants to stay close in these games for no reason. No reason. And you got a team like the Raiders. McDaniel, terrible head coach. Terrible, god-awful head coach. And I said that. I said Derek Carr got benched, and they lost all those games because of McDaniels, not Derek Carr. Derek Carr had an all right season. It wasn't awful. It wasn't great. I'm not going to say that, but it wasn't like this bench-worthy, terrible-ass season.
It just wasn't quality quarterback play.
But it sure as hell wasn't as bad as some of the other teams' quarterbacks. Anyways, he wasn't their fault. He wasn't the fault. it wasn't his fault that they were losing those games. Then they showed that against the Steelers
Well,
when they
we
decided
will
to
have this
go.
conversation again mid-season with Grayson and how he feels about Derek Carr and
Fine.
the Saints. All right.
Fine. Then you got the Raiders coming out and deciding we're going to kick a field goal with 2 minutes 45 seconds left after just declining a penalty, deciding, oh, we're going to waste a minute of our time, and go in and kicking a field goal again on 4th down when you're 10 yards from the end zone.
Stupid.
It's just terrible. It
Stupid.
was just pissing me off at bad coaching after watching the Saints lose. I can't believe other teams are doing it in the same fashion. Playing conservative, playing not to lose, and then you lose. This is what happens. You need to be aggressive in the NFL when you're calling plays. So this game is just I'm not picking the Raiders here. I can't do it. I think the Chargers have a better team, better offense, better weapons. Justin Herbert's there. Jimmy G's not doing well for the Raiders. He has Devontae. He can hit Devontae, sure as hell. I mean, everyone can hit Devontae. Devontae's a just godly with the ball in his hands. We have him on fantasy, and he balled out for us. 40 points, something like that. It's ridiculous. But the Chargers over here have more weapons.
40
Hopefully
piece.
Staley. Yeah, 40 piece. Hopefully
40
Staley
piece
doesn't lose
McNugget.
his mind in this game. I got the Chargers beating the Raiders at home.
Yeah, Grayson said it all. I'm taking the Chargers too. Next game.
Yeah, sorry for going off a little bit of rant there. It was just
It's all right.
pissed me off. These terrible coaches, man.
It's all right.
Anyways, then you got Cowboys, Patriots. Cowboys lost in just a god awful game against the Cardinals, where the Cardinals are thought to be tanking for Caleb Williams, but every single team they've played, they look all right. They look decent. They're putting up a fight against everyone. They should have beat the Giants, so they should be 2-1 right now, but they're not. They're 1-2. They blew a pretty big lead. So the Cowboys here against the Patriots, who have a good defense but god awful offense. Mac Jones can't hit anyone. Juju Smith-Schuster shouldn't even be there. He has like 16 total fantasy points for 3 games. Receiver 1, my ass. He should have chose the Patriots, or not the Patriots, the Raiders. He had talks with the Raiders, I think, in the offseason. Like, what are you doing going to the Patriots? They haven't done squat for their starting receiver in years. So I got the Cowboys here. I think the Cowboys bounce back. It's at home. It's in Jerry World, and I think they beat the Patriots.
Yeah, I got Dallas too. Nothing to say.
It's-
Better team. Better offense. Mac Jones a little banged up too with a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
Not that matters because he's not too good at football. I got Dallas.
Yeah, as long as Mac Jones is still playing the way he normally is, he's like, they're not winning these games. If Mac Jones turns it around and becomes godly, we'll let you know if that happens, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Moving on to the game this is probably the best game of 4 o'clock, and or of the 4 o'clock time slot,
LOL.
and it shouldn't even be. It shouldn't. This shouldn't be a good 4 o'clock game.
Yeah,
It's
but
Cardinals 49ers, but
Arizona might put up a fight for like.
I'm hoping they
for,
do.
like, I think
hoping they do.
Arizona could put up a fight for like 2 quarters maybe, and then it's gonna get
Yeah,
ugly.
2 to 3 quarters, and then the
Like, it's
fourth
gonna be
quarter is
like
when the
it's gonna
Niners
get
come out.
ugly. Like
don't know-
Giants Niners that Thursday night game. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be kind of close going to halftime, and
Yeah.
then it's gonna get ugly
And
quick.
And I think maybe Debo has another big game, hopefully, and I think they might be getting Ayuk back. I'm not
I
sure.
think so.
I know he's questionable, but I think I got to go with the 49ers here.
Absolutely.
I think, Cardinals, I want to choose Cardinals here for the death of me. Like, I want to upset.
They're playing tough. They're playing hard.
Like, I will cheer for the Cardinals all this season if I have to, because I just like that kind of fight. Like, it was like the Lions the last couple of years where, like, they put up a little bit of a fight, but they're not a great team. Like, I'll cheer them on, but I think the 49ers win in the end.
Yep, I got San Fran too.
And then, see, this is the game I was talking about. Like, Sunday Night Football, like, you take a look at this, because of the injury that happened to Aaron Rodgers, this ended up just being just awful. You got the Chiefs, who are playing at an all-time high now that Travis Kelce's back, and they're back to the usual.
T Swift.
That versus
He's got
and
love.
T Swift is there. The Swifties came flocking over. You got like 3 million fans added to the Red Kingdom. And then you got a team like the Jets, who had a fan literally spitting out his own dentures out of anger last week against a team, the Patriots.
That's what the Jets are gonna make you do.
It's so angering seeing this on Sunday Night Football when there's so many good games at the 1 o'clock time frame that it's just a little aggravating. But it should have been a good game, but Aaron Rodgers went down. So Zach Wilson, who is literally causing the team to just go, what's it called? They're gonna turn around. They're gonna like upend. They're gonna go a coup against Saleh over here if they keep going with Zach Wilson, because he's just doing absolutely nothing. The defensive players are pissed, as they should be, because they're trying to do something. But Zach Wilson had, I don't even know, like less than 10 yards through like a quarter last week. He just looks awful. He's not a quarterback that should be in the NFL. So like Hammer said last week, I like his pick for Kirk Cousins. If Kirk Cousins loses this week, he might be shipped
Maybe.
over the
Makes
Jets.
sense. It makes sense with the contract and the length, you know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know. Maybe it's too late to trade for a QB.
Yeah.
How long is it for him to get the connection and the playbook down and all that? I don't know. But I mean, like, think about it. Let's say Minnesota loses to Carolina. Let's say the Jets put up somewhat of a fight against Kansas City, but that game just shows, man, you just need a quarterback. Maybe they make the move then. I don't
Hey,
know.
man.
It makes a lot of sense because Kirk Cousins this is last year's contract, so you have him, you play him for
Yeah.
the year, and then you get back to little A-Rod.
They picked up Trevor Siemian though. Trevor Siemian, the dog.
Yikes. Old Saints
God,
quarterback.
that was their move.
Another
That
one.
was their move. They were like, you know what? Zach Wilson, you're not playing well enough.
Kaepernick.
Yeah, send out a
That's
letter.
what everyone's
God, I
saying.
can't.
A
Dude,
letter.
this league right now, like some of these teams, just what are you doing? You have guys like
I don't know.
that you
I
could
don't know.
easily trade for, like Teddy Bridgewater, Jacoby Brissett, or something like that. If you want like a vet that you could give minimal amount for, like that's all you have to do. But instead, you signed Trevor Siemian, who just looked awful for the Saints when he came in as a backup. Just awful. I think the Chiefs won easily here.
Yep, Chiefs.
Yeah,
Next game.
and then we're back in the normal Monday Night Football one game. The two games is kind of not my favorite. I didn't rock with it that much. I didn't love it. Seattle versus the Giants here. This is a good game. I think it's a solid
bad.
Monday Night Football game. Not gonna be upset with it. It's in New Jersey. Giants home field advantage here. I think I'm gonna go with the Giants. I don't love the Giants, but I gotta go with my gut here. I think the Giants come out and win. I think they have a little bit of bounce back. Daniel Jones finally is able to find Darren Waller in the end zone. I think Darren Waller scores his first touchdown this week. So I'm excited. I hopefully for our fantasy team, even though not for some of my fantasy teams, not ours. I think he scores, hopefully. And I think the Seahawks, I think it's going to be a close game. Maybe a 2-point, 3-point victory for the Giants.
Yeah, I see this being a close game. It's a fun Monday night matchup, right? I like Seattle. You know what I mean? They lost week 1 to the Rams, and since then they've been winning. They're 2-1 now. I think the better team. I don't know. The Giants have been in a funk. They've been kind of weird. You know what I mean? They had a really good year last year, and then week 1 happened. Week 2, you almost lose to Arizona. Week 3, you get smashed by San Fran. That's kind of expected though. But I don't know.
They're not playing.
Giants Giants have a tough schedule, and I don't know. They're not. I thought they'd be playing a little bit better with Darren Waller. Saquon's out still, right? I don't think Saquon's playing in this game too. That's pretty big. So I'm gonna go Seattle.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Giants here. It's more of a gut pick than anything, but we'll see how they do. And that's gonna wrap it up for our picks for the week. Let us know what you think down below, and then we'll see next week, or we'll see over the week if they pan out, how do we do, and then who knows, maybe Hammer takes over as the leader, but I'm hoping not. I hope my teams win, obviously. So let's get right into the next segment, break down some topics around the NFL.
All right, the next topic, we're just going to be talking about some news, kind of big, 2 big news events that happened this past weekend. We were going to talk a little Saints-Packers. We think you guys got a little bit of that during the picks.
They got enough.
I don't think you want to hear it anymore. You know what I mean? Because we can go all day back and forth. Jordan Love, though, keep killing it. So the first topic, let's talk about it. I mean, 70 points. Dolphins scored 70
It's historic.
Historic on the Broncos. That was during the 1 o'clock. That was during Packers Saints, and I just keep on looking back because I have 2 TVs set up. Right, I'm looking back and forth, and I'm just seeing 50 something, 60 something, 70. It's
when's it gonna end?
Wild. I mean, and you saw some interviews of the Broncos players in the locker room after the game. They're just they're shot, and it's just I don't know how you respond to that. And Sean Payton, I don't know how you address that locker room. How do you being a head coach? I mean, you need, you want your guys to be all in. You know what I mean? Believe in you, believe in what you're preaching. You know what I mean? Do this and that. You know what I mean? Play for your coach. You know what I mean? But how do you play for your coach? How do you be all in? How do you trust the process when that happened? That wasn't part of the plan. It's just that's wild. How do they come back for that? on the other hand, it's just like, is this bad Broncos or is this really good Dolphins? And is it like, hey,
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel is legit, speed kills, and like the Dolphins could be one of the best offenses. Maybe not saying this team, but like let's say like this period with Tyreek, Waddle, McDaniel, Tua, could this kind of era of Dolphins football be one of the best offensive teams of all time?
And it's looking like
And
it.
is
Like
this
it's on
and
pace
it,
for it.
and is
for
this
sure.
like and is this just like it's like stepping stone? So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think they definitely can. And you keep in mind, like, they did that without Jalen Waddle,
That's
which,
no.
like, I mean, we saw week 1, Tua
But it
came
wasn't
out
even
and
it wasn't even them throwing. It was like the running game too. It was
yeah,
just
the running game as well.
disgusting.
Kavon, I think he wants his name pronounced Achan now.
I mean, Mostert and
He called out too. And
Mostert
Mostert,
and
yeah.
the other kid, right? They both had like
Achan, yeah.
45 points in fantasy,
Yeah, it's
right?
ridiculous.
Like Tua
that
had
doesn't happen.
300 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Like
It doesn't happen.
wow.
He had Mostert had 2 touchdowns, I believe, in the span of 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Like 40 seconds of game time. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, so yeah, obviously I think the Dolphins can be one of the top offenses ever if they continue this pace. And you keep in mind they did it without Waddle this game. Like, that's mind blowing to me that you come out, you score 70 without one of your best players on offense. And keep in mind, you were talking about the Broncos possibly losing their locker room. Their defensive coordinator is still there after this game. Any defensive coordinator allows up 70 points should be fired.
Yeah.
Like, it's just how it works. You should be fired. And he hasn't been doing well this whole year. He let up 30 to the Commanders, I think, and he also I forgot who they played week 1, but they haven't been doing well. It's just he shouldn't be around anymore. He should be fired.
They lost to the Raiders week 1 by 1 point. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know.
It's not good.
I don't know.
And
Yeah, I don't know how.
And you
Like,
said
how do you not lose your job after that? It's wild. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And you said how there were a few players that just looked devastated. You had the one lineman like sitting there in his locker room, just like pouting, man. He's like, and they were like, how does it feel to lose 70-0 and just be a terrible team for 8 straight years? He's just like, man. He's like, shit, man. And he's just sitting there, just like so depressed in his locker room. Just looks like he's done with life. He's like, man, I don't like losing for 8 straight years. No one does. No one likes losing that many years. Like,
this is a type of
it's not
game.
fun.
Like, this is the type of game that like destroys the season. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just being honest.
demoralizing. It
It's
really
like
is.
it's like having your franchise QB like the Jets like getting hurt like out for the season. That's what it's like. Like suffering a loss like this, like that ruins your whole season. I feel like there's no way you can come back from this.
Yeah,
There's just
no
not.
shot.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they're dead. And like I'm not gonna say like we didn't have the Broncos going anywhere this year. Like maybe they're, fighting for like a wild card at best. Maybe.
Yeah, I thought Sean Payton came in and was
Maybe.
going to do all right.
But
Maybe the
like
wild
now
card.
it's just like I don't even know.
It's
That's
rough.
just
You
wow.
didn't expect it. Like, no one expected that. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, Sean Payton came in and he turned around the offense a little bit. Like, Russell Wilson does look a little bit better. He does.
Yeah.
But it's still like the defense should never allow that many points. Like, it's just insane.
And
It's more than
yeah.
18 teams have scored at all this season. Like, that is unheard of. It's just ridiculous. So, yeah, I think the Dolphins could be one of the best offenses of all time. And I think the Broncos are definitely on the hot seat for being a team that just falls apart after that. And who knows? They could tank for Caleb Williams too. Keep that in mind. Who knows? Because Sean Payton, I believe Sean Payton, before he was traded and went to the Broncos, he came out and he was talking on, I think it was Fox Kickoff. He was talking about Caleb Williams, saying this is a guy that teams tank for. So keep that in mind. Maybe he comes out and they just straight up tank for Caleb Williams and he gets the guy he wants. But
yeah. Next topic.
Swifties.
Yeah, I don't know. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are dating. Geez,
It's
I don't know,
official. It's official.
Right when the 4:00 games were gone, Fox was showing her sitting in the booth with Mrs. Kelce, the Kelce mom, like in the booth, sitting right next to each other, like in attendance. They're showing her after a touchdown, after Travis scored. She's going nuts.
Plastered on the TV.
She's doing chest bumps. Yeah, she's going wild, like little weirdo. What else? After did you see her doing chest bumps?
Yeah, your chest bumps.
Dude next to her? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they caught her doing the let's effing go after the touchdown. Like all Swifters like, oh my god, Taylor Swift cursing. Ah.
Yeah, and
so funny, dude.
What else? After the game, someone got like a video of them like walking out of the
Leaving.
locker room together and like leaving in Travis's car together. I mean, whatever. Like, I feel like I don't know. I don't even know why this is a topic. It
Yeah.
kind of got like annoying. Like, I don't care.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
at halftime after you see Taylor like 10 times, you're like,
I
I
don't
don't care. All the
It's just
NFL
getting
fans,
weird.
NFL fans are sitting there like, who the hell cares? We just want to see the Chiefs beat the Bears. Like, we just
Yeah,
want to see
no,
the
we watch
beatdown.
football. I know.
But then you think
Who
about
cares?
it,
Taylor
like,
Swift has dated everyone. She's got a lot of breakup songs. I don't know. Travis probably
what do you think the
maybe get
title
added to
of their
it.
breakup song is going to be? I don't even know.
I don't know.
So it's just going to be something about the Chiefs, something about football,
Red
something. Just
Kingdom, something. The downfall.
it's
The
something stupid.
I don't know.
It's
Let me think
anyway,
on it.
like,
Maybe you get like a weird tweet by Jenks and Hammer podcast on like a Saturday night. It's me finally come up with the song name. Maybe I
yeah,
don't know.
no, it's just
But
you think about it, like it added a lot of NFL fans. Sure, like 3 million. Someone released that TV ratings, and it was the #1 watched thing by any woman
well,
age 12.
that only means we're gonna get more T Swift on the screen when the Chiefs are playing. That's it.
Yeah, that's all it means. So
Showing up
NFL fans, keep an
broadcasting.
eye out for it.
Yeah.
And I think the funniest thing is Travis Kelce has now increased jersey sales 500%. He's now,
Wow.
I want to say, the Chiefs are like probably the most searched team in the
Yeah,
league.
probably the most popular. I mean, they're always the most popular, but maybe
it was
even
trending.
more now.
It was trending on Twitter and all social media.
I think
for
Taylor
like
Swift took
3
more
days.
attention. I think Taylor Swift being at the Chiefs game and dating Travis Kelce took more attention like away from like Dolphins putting up 70 points. Okay.
Yeah, people were
Like,
well,
this
that's
is
'cause
what
it's
people
just
are talking
everyone cares
about
that.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is just nuts. And then you think about it, Travis Kelce has his podcast as well, New Heights. Him and Jason started talking about it, and that you already know that the Swifties were tuning into it. That like they were answering questions from Swifties about football, everything like that. So
Yeah.
the Swifties are definitely coming over the NFL fans. My brother's fiance Abby, shout out, she's a Swiftie. She loves Taylor Swift, so she texted. We have like a big family football group chat, fantasy football group chat. She texts like something, how's it feel that Taylor Swift just made Travis Kelce popular? I'm like, and obviously she found it like she knew it was a way to rile up all the guys in the group chat. Like, no,
Yeah.
the hell she didn't. But
Meanwhile, Travis Kelce is
hilarious.
like the best tight end to ever play.
Yeah, so it was just a hilarious moment. But
Weird.
who
But
cares?
I don't know.
I guess they're a power couple. I don't
Cheers.
really care enough.
Cheers.
Good for you
Oh,
guys.
all right. Let's get on to fantasy, and then we're gonna close this puppy out.
Let's do it. All right, getting right into our fantasy breakdown. So Hammer and I won in our together the league where we have a team together. We blew the team out. We had the most fantasy points for. Our team is absolutely stacked. We've gone over it before. Just wanted to give a shout out to that team. We absolutely destroyed. Hopefully we keep it going, win that league. There's a lot of money on the line in that one. Then we got our league with our subscribers. So shout out to everyone that's in that league. I'm gonna give a quick shout out to all the winners. So really quick, we do have 2 3-0 teams still. 2 teams undefeated. We got Gloves Didn't Fit with Thomas Brown once again, and Rainbow Herbert with Nicholas Lewis again. Like these 2 guys, they're winning pretty damn well every week. They're winning pretty handily. Like Thomas destroyed me last week. I don't know who he played this week. So shout out you. And then Hammer 2-1 over here. So there you go, Team Hammer at 2-1. Then we got the Breeder Broncos. Rude is 2-1 as well. One of our Dutchmen or Dutchies in the fantasy league. And then we got Just Joshing with Forrest. He is 2-1 as well. So everyone else is, I believe, 1-2 or 0-3. So not the best, but Christian Diaz got his first win of the week with now he's 1-2. So the fantasy league is going well. It's going strong. We were glad we were able to set that up, and hopefully it continues for the rest of the season. Hopefully, who knows, we get one of you guys on the podcast in the near future.
Yep, having a lot of fun with it. So, let's do it. I gotta win though. I gotta win.
I'll bounce back. Don't worry.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do it. Let's go Pack O tonight. Let's go get a win. I hope everyone enjoys their Sunday. Another week in the NFL. Enjoy it. Thursday night, Sunday, Monday night. Hopefully do good in your fantasy squads, your fantasy leagues. Hopefully, your team wins. That's always fun, except for if you're a Lions fan or a Bucs fan. We hope you guys lose and have a miserable weekends. But with that, Jenks, closing thoughts. Jordan Love, 5 touchdowns tonight.
I'll give him 2, 3.
2.
Aaron Jones is going to be
Great,
back, so I
great.
think that takes away
But
from
he's
him.
a starting QB in one league. He's a starting QB.
Yeah, hopefully 3 then. Anyways, I got to say, thank God we're moving on to the next week. I can move on from the Saints-Packers
Yeah,
game.
but that's what sucks about having an awesome win like that. Like, we're playing Thursday night, so it's quick turnaround. You can't really enjoy it. You know,
Yeah,
I'm listening to all these
whatever.
Packer podcasts, and it's like on to Detroit just like that. So, is what it is. But, yeah. See you guys next Thursday. So with that being said, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Jenks and Eric Pod. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at Jenks and Eric Podcast. If you watch on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Enjoy this week, and we will see you next Thursday.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you for tuning in to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. Remember to leave a review and follow all of our social media pages at Jenks Hammer Pod for more content. Until next time, who dat and go Pack Go!